I think you have to specialize. This was the best word I could think of. It's not the exact word, maybe, but I think you have to focus on a style and a genre, or styles slash genres. Now, I focus on a lot of styles and genres because I've been a music producer for other artists for a long time. So I'm not a good example of this because I will do everything for everyone, and you should see all the 20 albums that we have going on. They range, every one of them is a different genre. But if you're having any kind of issue improving your music, it might be because you have too many ideas. There are too many things and too many. Oh, I could do reggaeton, and I could do hip hop, and I could even do country music. Oh, I could do classical. Well, I do all those things personally, but that's because I'm a producer and a composer. And so I've been used to composing all styles. And you might be able to compose a lot and produce a lot of styles too. But to get things done, to get music quality up, you've got to focus on one or two of the genres that you are really good at. And again, if you want to get stuff into sync, if you want to convince a library to work with you, they need to know that you can do a thing. Even my first deal with BMG was not a deal where I got in because I could do 1,000 styles. I got in because it was pop music. It was pop music with vocals, and it was 10 or 11 songs of it. And they said, okay, I can see that he can do an album of this type of music, and we need that type of music. So I think you really have to specialize in a genre. You have to decide what that genre is going to be. And so if you're having trouble getting better at your music, it might be that you're just dabbling all over the place. Just dabbling. You're a dabbler. You're dabbling all over the place. You're doing a little stuff here. You're doing a little stuff there, and you know who you are. All these things I'm going to talk about today are all things that I had to learn to do. I had to quit dabbling and specialize in what I was going to do. And until I got into that specialization of either being a composer or producer or whatever I was at the time of my life, I didn't have success because I kept just making a little loop or something on Logic, and then I'd go on to the next one and I'd have another one. Rarely did I sit down and write a whole composition from beginning to end and map it out and make careful plans for its sections and its beginning and its ending. Rarely did I do that. I would start something with a cool loop. And I think we are loop starters in lots of different genres because you have software that lets you import loops from all kinds of genres. And so you can start with this classical loop, and then you put a beat behind it. You say, oh, this is cool. And then you kind of dabble with that. And then the next day or the next week, you pull in another loop, and it's more hip hop. And so you kind of go down that road, or you kind of put a folk thing together. And I get tons of people, and they say, I don't know why I'm not having success. I don't know why I'm not moving forward. And when I listen to their music, it's just all over the place. There's songs over here, songs over there, songs over here, and none are finished, and none are really quality. Nothing goes together. So if I ask them for an album to put out or to work on with me, they can't, or at least they haven't done anything like that before. The people who make easy positive spin partners, it's not even a problem, is the people who come in with 10 songs of something already done, or someone who comes in and has a cello arrangement album already done, or can sit there and we're going to do 10 songs of Christmas or 12 songs of cello Christmas stuff, or we're going to do a tension album, or we're going to do something like that. And they come to me as a partner with something like that already. All I have to do is get in there and work on it, like I was doing for Chip today for his Rust album. And it's a tension album. It's a very original, unique album, and all 10 songs came and done. Levi is working with me right now, and he's just got a reggaeton album done, or at least the starts of all of these songs. I could go artist after artist or composer after composer. But it's because we made the decision, or they made the decision, to specialize in a genre and finish 10 songs of it. And that's another problem that I think people have. It's another issue I think that people are having with getting better and coming to me and going to libraries and getting on Spotify. What happens if you go to Spotify and every song you put up onto your Spotify is completely different? People aren't going to know what to do. The people who liked your last song are not going to like your next song because it's different. You're going to say, oh, they're going to like it because I'm me and I'm awesome. Well, maybe, but if you do jazz and you do 10 jazz songs, people will know. I have that problem a little bit inside of a genre of jazz where we've done everything from kind of contemporary jazz, kind of fusion-ish. Then I did kind of a more fusion-y thing with some beats and stuff in it. Then my last album was an album of beach-type music, which did fine. And again, it's in the jazz genre. It's just a subgenre of jazz. And the next one is probably going to be way more contemporary fusion again. So I am risking alienating the people who like the old stuff or the Latin stuff or whatever. This just in, and quick aside, I just got that Welcome to Florida album, or the Latin album of Player A, signed to a library this week. So pretty cool. But I finally got it all loose from all its entanglements in Content ID and stuff like that. But that was a specialized thing. I went to the beach for about a period of 10 years and kept writing these different songs and planned them for an album, and I eventually released it in 2020. And it's done pretty well, and it's made me some money in non-exclusive licensing, and it's in another non-exclusive library now. But it's done pretty well. But it's because it's a specialized thing, and I focus that songwriting on that album. And I think that's something you've got to do. And that's why specialization, I think, is so important. If you struggle with specializing in one genre because you like to flip back and forth between this album and this kind of music and this kind of genre, then give me a thumbs up, because I know it's tough, especially when you're starting. Because, y'all, there are so many possibilities of genres, and you have so many tools at your disposal that are free or that come with your DAW, and you can just make something here and something there. Getting people to choose a lane is very, very... Getting them to make music is the first hardest thing. Getting them to choose a lane or a few major lanes that they work in is very tough. And it's very... we could all choose to just do lots of genres. But if you want to get things done, if you want to make some music income, if you want to get into libraries, if you want to release and find a fan base on Spotify and all that kind of stuff, then you're going to have to specialize in a genre and do it great.